Tim Holley, Supercross Live on supercrossonline.com here at Atlanta, and this is a special day for Kevin Windham, the man who runs the number 14. Your 200th start here in Atlanta, man.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. It's you know, some days I wake up and it feels like it's been a lot more, but then other days you sit back and just think about how much racing that's really been. And I've been in a lot of different scenarios through that long career, and they've all been special, man. It's you know, I'm loving life, loving where I'm at, and you know, right now just focused on getting on that podium. The Geico Honda deserves it. It's running great. It's just been a tough year with the level of competition, and you know, we'll get through tonight, make it my 200th, and hopefully it's special by the taste of champagne.
Well, the other thing I'm thinking of is maybe it's your 200th start, and maybe it's Honda's 201st win, because Chad Reed had the 200 mark at Dodger Stadium. I got to go back to a guy like Chad Reed, Andrew Short. There's a lot of guys that are out right now, Tedesco, I mean, to name a few of them. And I'm looking at it as, man, I want Kevin up on that podium. Now's a good opportunity to get up on that podium.
Yeah, you know, and I feel like we could have done it before, you know, now, and it's not a shoe-in now. There's still a great level of competition, great level of parity out in our field right now. Of course, there are some injuries, but I mean, such is the sport. I mean, it happens. I hate to see it happen to anybody, but every time you mount up and you put on that helmet and you come down to this floor, you understand what can happen. It's happened to me before, and I'm sure it's probably in my future. You don't want to think like that, but it's just the reality of this game. And right now, I feel like we're riding well. That's all we can count on is just our preparation. And I think that it's been good to this point. Hopefully we can find ourselves on that podium.
Well, you mentioned the injuries. I've been around the sport a long time, and I remember when you were a factory Suzuki rider, getting off here and breaking your femur here in Atlanta. So, like you said, I mean, Atlanta is, you know, it's the devil's advocate, you know. I mean, it could be good to you or it could be bad to you. I got to ask you, Kevin, last week, I thought at one point you were battling with Alessi for that fourth. You were up there going, all right, man, Kevin's going to get Mike, and he's going to end up getting fourth and gain some confidence. But then all of a sudden, I looked at the finish line, and Stewart nips you at the end, and you end up getting seventh.
I had meltdown. I mean, it was just that simple. It was a very aggravating race for me, having a great weekend, you know, fastest in the first qualifying practice, good heat races, and, you know, what was seeming to be a good main event, and then just shows you when you drop the ball in this the sport right now. 3 laps to go, I made a couple, you know, major mistakes and wound up getting passed by several people, which is, like I said, very frustrating, but motivating to come here and not let that happen again.
Something else I got to look at, maybe the back of your neck, to see if you got singed on that transition you did. I mean, that transition, when you nail one like you nailed last week, what was it, 110, 120 foot? I mean, from the face of the triple jump across the finish line and landing on the downside there, they light the candles. I'm going, man. And you didn't have any goggles on either.
Well, I don't wear the goggles just because of the glare coming from, you know, different spotlight angles and stuff like that. But, you know, last weekend's was really good. I mean, it was just a special transfer, a special weekend, and that's kind of what made that main that much more frustrating. But here walking the track in Atlanta, I'm actually hard-pressed to find a transfer, and it's funny because, you know, now people kind of have come to expect that, and I don't know what I'll do tonight, but we'll try to muster up something. But you know, nevertheless, that's become a huge part of what I do on the race day, and hopefully I can find one here tonight. But it really gets my night going. You know, it's a lot of fun for me. It's a little bit nerve-wracking and stressful, but I know that when I go out there and I face that fear, it almost helps me going down to the night program and you know, trying to race and put my best foot forward. When you're racing next to guys like, you know, Trey Kennard, who's a good personal friend who's gotten injured earlier in the season, or, you know, Chad Reed, who got hurt last weekend, good personal friend. I'm friends with all these guys on the floor, and whenever you see a fellow rider get hurt, you know, you got to find a way to stay focused, because, you know, it's the reality of the sport, but with passing time and age, it gets harder to deal with.